Alright, people, I don't know what's happened, but something's come over me. I've just become certain that MULN is going to squeeze at least 2,000% in the month of July, and then I got a feeling that, like, for the next year, it's going to go up another 2,000%, just like Tesla did. So, let me explain to you why MULN is the way. So in 2022, in February, March, April, May, the CEO is doing interviews. And basically, he had his batteries tested, and he was able to prove that couple things. His battery versus a Tesla battery. There's no one that has a better battery than Tesla except for MULN. But MULN doesn't sell it yet. And here's what the test results said. A Tesla battery can recharge 1 to 2,000 times before you have to replace the battery. A MULN battery, 10,000 times. It's a lifetime guaranteed. A Tesla battery can only do 250 miles and is bulkier. MULN battery, smaller, and with the amount of battery they can put inside their car, which their car still looks beautiful, 450 miles per charge. So basically what happened was that I saw this right as it was happening, in the midst of it happening, and I've already squozed a stock with AMC. If you don't know that I squozed AMC in 2021, and that there are bands like Revolution who released albums in June of 2021, and same with Flowbots, and they were writing about me, the prophet, that like showed them the way and how to be a warrior and how to steal money from the rich and not just invest in stock, but actually how to understand options and make a fucking fortune. Like, that's all true, people. And so here's what happened. So I start getting on my YouTube videos, and I don't get a lot of people. I go from like 2,500 subscribers to 3,000 subscribers. I'm getting maybe, I think for MULN on my YouTube, I got like 100,000 views over maybe 50 videos. And so it's decent. Like, there's obviously people that are interested, but it was never enough to like just close the gap and buy enough shares to where they couldn't screw us over. But basically that's what they did. And so for the first time in history, MULN sold all 500 million of their outstanding shares to retail, and then they voted themselves by giving the vote date in the middle when they still had 51% of the votes, and they won the vote with 51%, saying yes to the new dilution of 1.25 billion shares. So it goes from 500 million to 1.25 billion. And then they vote again and they raise it to 5 billion. Then they hit with just a couple months ago a reverse split. MULN is literally down 99.98%. If you bought MULN back when I told you to in March 2022 and you just bought stock, right now you have literally, if you put $100,000 in, I bet you have $200. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, no stock has ever gone down as much as this stock has gone down. It's the most impressive thing ever. And aside from that, no stock has ever had more retail buyers of the stock. Now, I won't say, because probably with AMC, retail put in more money into AMC and bought like the stocks that were there, but that's because AMC had a much higher price. But if you look at the number of stocks sold to retail, no stock in the history of the world has ever sold this much to retail. And that's why the stock's going down, because they just keep faking shares and keep selling it to retail. But it's not all synthetic and it's not all garbage like they tell you, because if it was, then they wouldn't have to rig a dilution vote. And so they have to give themselves more dilution to have power. Well, right now, with the price of the stock and everything, their dilution power is nothing. They got less than $100 million of dilution power. So if just 100,000 of us threw in $100 each, or $1,000 each, I guess. So, I mean, it is kind of a lot to ask. It is a tall order, but like in one day you could make it happen. Like, there's enough of us that want to do it. We just aren't organized, and it's disappointing. But here's the thing. Like, I believe in science. I believe in universal truths. I also believe in the Bible, and I believe in spirituality. But what I'm getting at is, like, when Newton said every action has an equal and opposite reaction, he is also talking about the devil and the tools that they use to hurt people. And people that invested in MULN were hurt, including myself, and I probably amplified people's pains. And that's probably not right of me, but I don't know any other way to save this world. So I just do what feels right all the time. So here's the thing. They're talking about doing another reverse split, and they just finished one 2 months ago. And they're saying they're going to do one in August, or at least vote on it. I don't think it's happening. I think they're lying to you, and they're trying to scare you because you saw what happened the last reverse split. And what they're doing is they're trying to scare you from this reverse split and get you not to invest, get you not to buy options, because they're going to squeeze it. That's always, like, they always make it look like the end before it's the beginning. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like there's a lot of power things happening, whether it's Russia, whether it's Trump being indicted, whether it's Hunter Biden pleading guilty. There's just, whether it's the House Republicans pretending like they're actually wielding their power. Like, all these things that I'm watching, like, I look at it as one big show, and they're all working together to try to distract me. It tells me that the squeeze is upon us. It could happen, like, literally the 4th of July could be the beginning, but I don't know yet. Like, I'm just going to watch, and I'm going to have a couple $100, and I'm going to throw it in when it, like, I'm probably going to get a little bit of it in right away. Like, I get paid tomorrow, so I'll probably just throw a little bit in a couple safe spots. Like, maybe I'll buy, like, the 4-cent July or January 2025 $6 strike and buy like $100 worth of those, and that's just what I hold for the next 2 years, and I want to see it hit Tesla numbers before I even sell it. And then I hold the rest of it, and I wait to try to look for opportune options at opportune moments, and look for calls and puts, and be trading a lot of money as it goes up and down, all while having my back cushion where if I lose this money and it does squeeze, then eventually I'm going to make a lot of money, and I can wait a year to cash out $1 million type thing. That's where my head's at right now. The last thing that I want to do is, like, I'm going to try to use MULN as a way to make $100 into $1 billion. And so I want you to listen to the song and think about, what would God do if he was to come to earth as a mortal man and try to beat the world by himself, but never use violence, and can't use his powers, and doesn't know anything of his old life? Like, what would he do? Just think about it, and then listen to this song. God moves in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps in the sea, and rides upon the storm. Ye fearful saints, fresh courage take. The clouds ye so much dread are big with mercy, and shall break in blessings on your head. His purposes will ripen fast, unfolding every hour. Bitter taste, but sweet will be the flower. Blind, unbelief is sure to err, and scan his works in vain. God is his own interpreter,